The content on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only. Please contact a professional when it comes to your financial needs. Came across a conversation on the Butternomics channel on TikTok, and I want you to take a listen to this and see what you think.
So black people, we over-indexed on cryptocurrency. 40% of us invested in cryptocurrency more than any other race because we've been hijacked and messed with by capitalism and free enterprise, and we don't trust any of that stuff, banking, business, government. I understand. But trying to find a way around the traditional system, also to get rich quick, we over-indexed in cryptocurrency, got robbed. So black.
That was John Hope Bryant, and he said an entire word right there. One of the things that we want to do on this channel is try to increase that financial literacy, right? Give you the how-to videos. I like giving them short and sweet and just get it out the way, right? Learn. Um, but he hit on something that is 100% gospel. We over-indexed in crypto. It was the focus of my channel. It still is the focus of my channel, but it is absolutely true. We doubled down, went in, and we bet the house on crypto. But was it a wise thing to do? We're going to get into a deeper discussion right here, right now on the Ujamaa Network. I'm Antoine Anderson. Let's talk. The reasons are simple, and it is on the faces of everybody in my family. Tell you the truth, everybody I grew up with, the pursuit, the constant and consistent pursuit of that fast money is something that gets us into trouble every time. Every time. And why are we wired this way? Why is it that's that simple play that always ends up biting us in the behind? Well, because we have been bitten behind by so many other ways, right? Even when you try to reconcile what happened, in past times when cities like Greenwood, Rosewood, um, just the whole history of economic destruction in the African American community in this country, it says that even when you play by the rules, you're going to end up with nothing. And that kind of hesitation after all that hard work that you put in just to end up with nothing is why people are constantly looking for those quick hits, those quick licks. Hit a lick real quick. That's where the term comes from. Fast money. That's where it comes from. It comes from that need because we work so hard and get so little in return that the mindset is like we got to play catch up. We're always playing catch up. So when I look at it from that standpoint, yeah, this is 100% true. We constantly find ourselves behind the eight ball because of the economic situation in America. But a lot of this stuff now, even with that, is exacerbated by the fact that we don't own nothing. We don't want to own anything. You go out right now and ask a person if they want to purchase a house, especially now, there's just absolutely no um, no appetite for it, right? But you ask a youngster, what do they think about building generational wealth? Well, the one thing that happens and a surefire way to build generational wealth is to get a house. But it's not something that's going to happen overnight. A lot of family members, including myself, we didn't become homeowners until our 30s, if that. A lot of my parents, they didn't own homes. My grandparents did, but my parents didn't, and lived their entire lives until they passed in an apartment. And so there was no property to pass down. And that's just what it is. Now, was it a shortcoming? No. This it was a reality, and it is still a reality. Um, when you do have a home in the family, the infighting that happens, things that go down besides the economic peril that you're getting from our situation in this country, How about the interpersonal stuff within the family? It's another obstacle, right? We have to get over that. Financial literacy is more than just building a portfolio. It's learning how to act with that money. Um, to his point, though, over leveraging on and just went all in on crypto. I know people who literally bet the house on crypto. Not a good look. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this my enthusiasm for cryptocurrency has not waned. Um, I know what kind of situation it was. I mean, maybe it was a combination of the COVID pandemic. Um, Everything that happens now on this channel is really because of COVID. We were indoors for a little bit of time. I was a critical. What they call that? What was the term they used um, when you had to go to work with critical care or vital employee, whatever the term was. Anyway, I didn't stay home. I was in these streets and been into a hospital, working in a hospital IT department. So let me tell you, with that said, in the limited contact, when I came home, it was all about what we're seeing right now. That was the beginning of everybody jumping on, social media and doing the content stuff. That was a way to reach out. But now it's morphed into something else. These gentlemen mentioned AI, and they were mentioning cryptocurrency. Yeah. Why did we jump into that cryptocurrency so hard? Because we had gotten bit so bad by the investing class. Um, just like with everything else, we have some of the lowest home ownership rates. That was another topic of discussion in there. That's definitely hitting our collective net worth, right? We earn the lowest wages out of any ethnicity per capita. It's just what it is. So you have these financial obstacles, these financial barriers towards ownership. It's no wonder why we fall behind so hard, and it's so hard for us to get up. All I'm saying in this little rant that I'm going on today is that we do need to diversify. Now, I do a fair share of tech talk, and maybe I'll throw in a couple of real estate videos or whatever. But really, crypto has always been my focus because it was one of those industries that we were able to get in on the ground level. And I think that's why everybody jumped in it so hard. Everybody in the community, that is. Um, More so than any other ethnicity. Because finally, the playing field was a little bit more equal. It didn't mean that we were going to be any less made the victim in this stuff. And I'm not trying to promote a victim mentality, but let's face it, a lot of people got ganked, got gotten, still are getting gotten by all the crypto scammers. And we don't have the financial literacy background we're just financially illiterate to understand what's going on. That's why when these individuals come in with these $100 to $1 million schemes and want to sell you a class or some kind of program, in other words, you give me money and I'll tell you some words. That's what we fall um, victim to. That kind of victim. We're being victimized by scammers, and we have to be able to identify these scammers. That's just what it is. Now, I want to go in and talk about this a little bit more, but I want to also know what you guys think. Is it just me, or is it so much harder to get good information out than it is for a scammer to convince somebody to get you to do something unwise? I know in my case, I couldn't convince anybody to jump on that cryptocurrency when it was hot, when I knew what the returns were going to be. And I'm not talking about investing. I was still able to mine, and I was telling them what we need and what the returns were. I had actual numbers, and couldn't tell anybody why. They were skeptical. Probably because of all the times someone else has come up with a bright idea and they ended up losing a bunch of money. The key to defending yourself against that is literacy. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I will talk to you very, very soon.